Good evening, everyone. I am Sabria Williams, a transfer social work major at the illustrious Mother Tuskegee University, and this evening we're going to discuss the National Education Longitudinal Study, also known as NEALS 88. Alright, so just a little bit of information about NEALS 88. It is a data file that contains survey responses from 8th grade students, teachers, and parents of those students regarding certain variables that may influence a student's test scores. The survey began in 1987, and over the years it have been modified where they take the survey every 2 years, trying to just look at certain statistical values. This study is ran by the National Center for Education Statistics of the U.S. Department of Education. So for this project, I am looking at 4 variables. My dependent variable is the overall math proficiency score. My independent variable is the number of hours a student watches television on the weekdays. And then I have 2 control variables being sex and the percent of students who receive free lunch. Now, just in case none of you know, free lunch, by it being a control variable, it does impact a student's overall math proficiency score. Basically, if a student doesn't eat healthy before going to their first class or eating healthy throughout the day, they will lack focus, and that will cause them to have lower test scores than those students who are eating healthy and making healthier food choices. And also, sex does have a little part in it. Some biased people will say, oh, female students are smarter than male students. And also, television also influence math proficiency scores, because the time that a student could be studying at home, they will be watching television shows that are not rated PG-13. So over here in this corner for figure 1, we have the bivariate table, which looks at the dependent variable and the independent variable. And basically how I did mine, I looked at how many hours a student is to watch television on weekdays, and then how are they scoring on their overall math proficiency exam. Below level 1, we're going to say that's probably like the lowest level. That's below average. Level 1 being average. Level 1 and level 2 category being slightly above average, but still your average student. And then all 3 levels, let's just say that could be your brightest student, but sometimes they have their best days and then they have their weekdays. All right. For figure 2, we have the multivariate table, and the multivariate table that I chose to specifically look at was male and female respondents being the control variable. And as you can see, the test scores are a little bit higher, and the number of television hours are a little bit higher for the male students. So male students are watching almost, 6.1% of male students are watching 2 to 3 hours of television on the weekdays and scoring that slightly above average, whereas 9.1% of females are watching 2 to 3 hours of television during the weekdays and scoring level 1. So you can see the difference between those variables and those changes. Also over here in the corner, I just created, my shades of gray pie chart, where I just put those percentages together in one big old pie chart, so it'll be easier for you to look at. And concluding from this study, I learned that it is a lot of variables that influence students' test scores. One of them being the main focus is whether or not the student is eating healthy, what are they doing in their spare time, and what are they doing in their spare time, how they're eating. Like, that highly impacts a student test scores, because they need to eat healthy and they need to spend more time studying than watching television. Also, The source here for the NILS 88 is down here in the reference section. I advise everyone to take a look at it just to see the characteristics of at-risk students. And that is the end of my PowerPoint presentation, everyone.